Hello, hello. I'm gonna send out this link everywhere real quick. Hold on. Let's just get this link out. Live now. Dope. Okay, so y'all just let me know, like, hello, hello, how my audio is and such. I'm gonna send out this link. Cool, this is my first YouTube stream. I've streamed once on Twitch before, but maybe YouTube's gonna work a little bit better. I don't think I can do multi-streams on OBS software, so I have to figure that out. But today I am outlining the Gabriel Rockhill interview with Midwestern Marx. Carlos interviewed Gabriel. He's got upcoming books. And he kind of talks about the global theory industry and stuff like that. So we're just going to be kind of watching it and filling out the outlines and notes on the wiki. And maybe we'll get into some other stuff as well. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it.
Traditions of thought.
And as you can see, I already kind of got a little bit of this done. I'm about, I'm less than an eighth of the way through, so this will definitely take us a little bit.
And in the case of those like Žižek or Badiou or Hart or Negri or Rancière, Judith Butler, we could add a lot of people, Ernesto Laclau, Chantal Mouffe, the list goes on and on and on. This is a very particular segment of the global theory industry because, of course, that industry is actually dominated by people like Samuel Huntington and Francis Fukuyama, who do. Of course, that industry is actually a very particular segment of the global theory industry.
All right, so at this point, we probably want to mention like the Huntington and the Fukuyama a bit. So what I'm doing right here is I'm clicking the share button and clicking the timestamp button. So it starts at 8:30. I'll just type in 8:30. So I do Command Shift left to highlight that whole section, copy that link, do Command K to paste a link or to open the link, to create a link, paste it in there, click enter, and then kind of explain what this section is. So we're gonna say Rockhill mentions that we're going to call it GTI, so up here by global theory industry, I'm going to just go ahead and parenthetically call it GTI, and this is red because we haven't made a page for it yet, so we'll get to that later. But so Rockhill mentions that the GTI is dominated by people like, how do you spell Fukuyama? So Fukuyama, yeah, Francis. So we got this guy, and we'll make a page for him too, so we can kind of start collecting information. So Francis Fukuyama, Huntington, I think it's like Samuel Huntington, yep, died in 2008. So we're gonna Samuel P. Huntington. And again, we're just gonna select these, Command K them, and create links just to internal wiki pages. And again, they're red because they haven't been created yet. And so in journalism, they call this pearl growing. So basically, like, we're just kind of taking little bits and we're taking like facts or names or locations and stuff, and we're just kind of starting to create kind of a constellation of knowledge around those. Let's see, we got Zal Zerk in the chat. Make a wiki page on everything PearlWiki has. Yeah, Zal, I'm actually from PearlWiki. I was the band admin. And yeah, we're stealing a lot of my old work. Somebody a while back commented, "Oh, this is just stolen from PearlWiki," and I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote it." So, yeah, definitely a good idea. Let's see. So we got Francis Fukuyama. Does he list anybody else?
Because of course that industry is actually dominated by people like Samuel Huntington and Francis Fukuyama, who do the kind of direct bidding of U.S. imperialism. But the role of these particular figures that I just mentioned is that they're radical recuperators. What I mean by that is that they are tasked with and have tasked themselves with producing purportedly radical discourse.
So I like that section, the radical recuperators.
The role of these particular
so we're going to find the beginning of that.
But the role of...
So maybe like around 840. So we're going to type that up. 840. So we're going to say something like the role of these just going to call it Žižek and others are, and let me know if we got to like zoom in or anything like this, are radical recuperators. Yeah, I can't spell. Are radical recuperators of radical, I guess like left-wing aesthetics. Cool. Man, I hope Gabriel stays safe. Like, seriously, bro.
The other figures that I just mentioned is that they're radical recuperators.
Yep.
What I mean by that is that they are tasked with and have tasked themselves with producing purportedly radical discourses that call everything into question. The history of Western metaphysics, the existence of man, enlightenment, European thought in general, all of these grand kind of monolithic things, and they appear to be unorthodox and transgressive and liberatory in various ways. But if you go through the details, as I have, because I studied very closely not only this tradition, but within this tradition, was trained within this tradition, and unfortunately for a long time, quite honestly, I believe in certain aspects of this tradition, you realize that they are all profoundly anti-communist. There are different...
Okay, so maybe like this section could be like the anti-communism of the Western left, something like that. And let's find the beginning of that section.
They are all believe in certain aspects of this tradition. You realize that they are...
All right, so we're going to start with his sentence, they are all, 929. One fun thing is that this system is kind of like a lot of work. I'd love if there were like tools to better do this and like clip things up and split them up. I am a software designer, so maybe one of these days I'll get around to building something that makes me not have to do this, but whatever. We're basically just taking notes. So the anti-communism of the Western left, and there's a page, I don't know if the page is on InfraWiki yet, but it's on PolWiki. We could call it, it's like the non-communist left or something. And that's like a State Department designation, like from, yeah, here it is. Yeah, and honestly, I wrote most of this page. Actually, I wrote, yeah, nearly all of it. So when we steal stuff from PolWiki, just eat dirt because I wrote it. So we're going to say, we're just going to call this like the non-communist left. And they even shorten it. They use a TLA, a three-letter acronym. They call it the NCL. So, ooh, shit, I did not mean to do that. So, and that was a typo. So non-communist left. We're gonna highlight that. Yep, and we're gonna create it. So one thing we can do with these red links, if we want to go ahead and start writing these, which we don't have to, you can just like command click to open it in a new tab, and then once you've clicked on a red link, it's it just takes you to an empty page, so you click create. And now I can paste all of that stuff that I just stole from ProWiki. So now we've got it. I haven't installed these templates. I really don't even want to. I kind of just want us to all write our own, write our own, like, you know, just write your own references. Come on, we don't need a template. If the templates were less ugly and if they were easier to do, I would implement it. But they are just this ugly form. It's super cringe. We'll probably also, on this non-communist left page, we'll probably want to have, well, where does this external links guy go? So this takes you to the Wikipedia. We should just list it right there. So we should just say NCL on English Wikipedia. Does anybody know why my chat doesn't stay open? I have to click on OBS Studio to make my chat appear, and that's really obnoxious. I don't even know. Maybe I'll just keep it over here. Let's see, what is Madao says, feel like there must be some state-of-the-art AI thing that could be used to automate something. Yeah, no, I agree with all the advancements. Yeah, I totally agree. There are some things, but you know, if you find it, send it my way. I think InfraWiki's DMs are open. Restream. So if I want to stream on multiple platforms, I got to use this. So I'll try to set that up. And there's a plugin for it. Hell yeah! So I'm just gonna try to have that installed by next time. So yeah, we just wrote the non-communist left page, and we got a. So once I refresh this page, I haven't even created it yet, but then this red link will be blue. So back to Gabriel.
Profound anti-communist. There are different.
Let's watch this faster.
On different forms, but they're principally against what they refer to as totalitarianism, which is of course originally it was a concept that was developed in the communist tradition. But then
this is really important right here. So, and watching it faster actually makes it harder to find the exact clip. But
they're principally against what they refer to as.
Okay, so he mentions totalitarianism right here. This is an interesting bit. There's a lot of really crazy shit. I don't know if I can cuss on YouTube, but let's just write totalitarianism. Okay. So this was like Hannah Arendt type beat. Like it's basically, the concept is to equate communism with fascism. You know, if you read Rajani Palmdutt, it describes how fascism is like the dictatorship of the finance capitalists, kind of doing degrowth and reducing the productive forces. But, you know, Hannah Arendt brilliantly was like, oh, well, we should call communism basically anything that has a grand narrative, or anything that like gets people together into groups. And so, yeah, it kind of conveniently worked. Like, oh, let's equate literally the bad guy with the good guy. Who defeated the Nazis? It was this guy. All right. So, but let's see. So yeah, Ziggy Brzezinski, Zigneb. Great guy, you know, really good guy. So we definitely need a page on totalitarianism and debunking how cringe that shit is. It's wild stuff.
Totalitarianism, which is of course a kind of, originally it was a concept that was developed in the communist tradition, but then it was recuperated by the U.S. national security state and intellectual figures like Hannah Arendt in order to discredit actually existing socialism and try to affiliate it with fascism, which is an impossible intellectual task because they're, you know, world historical enemies and fought World War II basically around was constructed around that opposition between fascism on one hand and socialism on the other. And so that critique that I have of Žižek is part of a larger critique of the radical recuperators and the function that they play in the global theory industry, which is to recuperate the possibilities of radical critique within the anti-communist camp and the anti-socialist camp. In other words, what they do is they police the left border of critique. And they also are part of an imperial project, a project of cultural imperialism, because as everyone knows, or I presume a lot of people know, who are familiar with intellectual traditions outside of the United States, there's a way in which those who are promoted within the imperial core, within the Euro-American world, become kind of sacred values in the larger globalized intellectual world. And so if you're in Argentina, or if you're in South Africa, or if you're in India, and you're an intellectual and you operate in certain circles, it is almost a requirement that you have some familiarity with Foucault or Badiou or the people of this ilk, Derrida and others, even if you tend to disagree with them for whatever reason it might be. And that's not the case with the thinkers who have been excluded from this tradition, right? Those who maintain a more historical Marxist, a historical materialist mode of analysis. So that's another function that they play, is they play a really specific role as radical recuperators within the larger system of culture. But maybe I'll stop there. I don't know if I got to every aspect of your question.
Dude, this interview, this guy, oh man, I want him to like start a podcast or something, because he just was hitting tons of points. Like, I didn't even realize that Carlos hadn't gotten the opportunity to ask another question.
That was excellent. I really appreciate your concept of radical recuperators. The way that we've thought about that phenomenon in the past is as if the ruling class realizes that because of the periodic.
So what we're gonna do is maybe just like write a bullet point for when Carlos replies. So let's just find the beginning.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Okay, so right after he says that was excellent, we're gonna do 11:41. Yeah, Carlos replies. Let's see. So let's just kind
I really appreciate your concept of radical recuperators. The way that we've thought about that phenomenon in the past is as if the ruling class realizes that because of the periodic cycles of mass crisis of capitalism, people are going to end up in positions where they want to dissent to the existing order. And they need some form of a controlled counter-hegemony where they know that if they're there, they're safe because the established order isn't being substantially opposed. And I think it's very easy to assume that this is just like, intellect.
I like that too. Controlled counter-hegemony. That's a good concept.
And it's not activities that are sustained within the academy, because all of these ideas and modes of thoughts and outlooks and perversions of Marxism, they roll into the sphere of activism through the academy itself, through NGOs, through the media, through pop culture. So it's something that has some weight and some stakes when it comes to organizing for socialism. It's not just something that I think is relegated to the academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very quickly on that, Carlos, I couldn't agree more that it's a controlled counter-hegemony, right? Because at the end of the day, what a lot of these figures do is that they are working for and pitching to the capitalist apparatus of knowledge production.
So I'm going to say these thinkers pitch to the capitalist something knowledge production, right? Something like the apparatus of knowledge production, which is what we're doing. We are creating socialist knowledge production. Let's go. I'm going to get that quote right, though. So.
And pitching to the capitalist apparatus of knowledge production that promotes them internationally, right? And so there's a...
Okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning.
Just very relegated to the academy.
So let's just get his reply. 12:44. Oops, that was the wrong button. Alright, so 12:44. We're gonna paste this in. So we're gonna say Rockhill Why am I using Rockhill's last name and Carlos's first name? No clue, dude. Maybe Garrido. Maybe I'm afraid to pronounce it in Spanish. Garrido. I can't even like roll my R's. Garrido. There we go. Rockhill. Whatever. I'll clean this up later. That's the brilliance of wikis. Bro, the mention of the radicals in Chelsea. Hold on, let's go to maps.google.com. Alright, check this out. So there's a book club. Well, I don't want to show my home address. There's a book club called, not a book club, a bookstore called non-oppressive. It's like NonImperialist. What is it? It's some bookstore. Yeah, unoppressive, non-imperialist bargain books. What, they're closed? I went there like, a little while ago. But this is like the epitome, this is exactly it. Is like, look, these guys aren't anti-imperialist, they're non-imperialist. These guys think that being anti-imperialist, which is like Thomas Sankara or, Vladimir Lenin and shit like that, they think that's oppressive. And it's like, basically this is like the unoppressive, non-racist bargain books. Like, it's not enough to be not racist. You got to be anti-racist. You got to like actually stand up for something and fight for something. So I think he that's hilarious that he mentions Chelsea, Manhattan. That's cool. I really like that. So this drives the potentiality of radicalism into consumerism. That's cool. And this is a little bit different what we're doing right now. I combined outlines and notes. Sometimes I just outline, sometimes I create a different page for notes, but like, this is a collaborative project. We need to just figure out what works and what doesn't. So, feel free to experiment. Let's get more people in the chat, dudes. Is Twitter just not gonna let me? Here, I'm just gonna be annoying and retweet myself. Alright, so let's keep listening. So we're just gonna find the beginning of where Carlos begins speaking, and we're not gonna rewatch this. We're gonna do this real quick. So that's 1344. Should self-promote in the Discord. That is so true. I need to. All right, let's. What sucks is I'm about to leave, so I'm gonna be back on. I might be back on tonight. Here, hold on. Where's the self promo? Live now. But I got a dinner, so I only got like maybe 10 more minutes of this. and we're going to say Carlos replies. And the reason we're doing this is like some of these might be like clippable, right? Like some of these you might be able to turn them into like a TikTok or something. Like let's start spreading this information. Oh, okay. This is interesting right here. So I didn't realize that Žižek came from like Yugoslavia. Žižek. Because that does make sense. It's yeah, Slovenia. I don't know my geography. So we're gonna say like right here at 1421, we're gonna say Carlos seeks to explain why Žižek sucks. Here, hold on. Okay, so we're just going to summarize that question by saying Carlos asks Gabriel what Žižek's relationship with socialist Yugoslavia was. And then, looks like he's about to reply. So 1505. All right, so 1505, we're just gonna say Gabriel replies. And if there's any other insights, we'll add it to this bullet point. So we're just gonna, this was a book mention, so we're gonna add this. We'll probably want to create a page for this book eventually. So at 1600, he mentions book. Let's just say book mention, and we're gonna say what is it, like destroying a nation or how to kill a nation? Michael Parenti's How to Kill a Nation? I don't think that's what it's called. To Kill a Nation. The attack on Yugoslavia. Michael Parenti's To Kill a Nation. The attack on Yugoslavia. Okay, cool. So he's just he's gonna start rattling off like successes of Yugoslavia. So let's take that. Okay, so based on World Bank data, 1624. I mean, this will be helpful if somebody's like, oh, socialism fails. Like, all right, send them to 1624 of this video. He's just gonna rattle these off. Okay, so this is interesting. Žižek's first book, he mentions, so right here, 1727, on the importance of Žižek's first book. All right, so this this outline is not completed. Please assist in finishing it. I need to make like a template that says that, but whatever. We're gonna go ahead and save the page. Like I said, I've got a dinner to get ready for, but you know, depending on how the evening goes, I might be back online and we can continue editing. One other thing, I created like a category page for videos by Midwestern Marx. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it and then click on categories and put that in the videos parent category. So now whenever I go to the videos page, I'm going to click it, and so these are the subcategories: videos by, you know, the mob, infrared, whatever, talent site, VODs, and then these are the actual videos. So a lot of these are outlines, a lot of them are unfinished outlines. So now that you guys have seen how to do it, please hop in and do it. A lot of these have really, really good information on them. So, and you will be, like, here's the recent changes on the wiki. If you make a bunch of good edits, we'll auto-mod you. But otherwise, to prevent vandalism, we have a moderation system in place. So I'll be kind of approving each of them manually. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll be back on sometime soon. We'll continue editing and creating some social